I will be making the 5th pick in this draft, and one of the things that I have written down for Detroit is find a way to get Jaden Ivey. I think that with the Pistons, you have Cade Cunningham, and I think Cade Cunningham is going to end up being a superstar as this thing kind of plays out. I think you build everything around him, and then kind of figure out everything else beyond that. I think Cade and Jaden to me is the perfect combination in the backcourt. So if you can find a way to get up to there to the 4th pick to get Jaden Ivey, if you're Detroit, I think that's what you do. Beyond that, their needs. They need talent, they need athleticism, and they need shooting. I think that Saddiq Bey and Jeremy Grant are kind of nice pieces, nice rotational pieces, nice guys to put around someone like a Cade Cunningham. I'm not sold on Killian Hayes. I wasn't sold on him before the draft. I'm not sold on him now after his first 2 seasons in the league. I think you do eventually need a pick and roll lob threat for Cade Cunningham. I don't think Marvin Bagley or Isaiah Stewart are going to be the answer long-term there. So at this point, given who's on the board, I think I would go with Keegan Murray simply because of the fact that he's 6'8". He's got a pretty good wingspan. He's a very good shooter. We know he's a scorer. And the idea of being able to put Cade Cunningham out there with Keegan Murray and Jeremy Grant, assuming he's back, and Saddiq Bey, all of a sudden you have 4 guys that are pretty switchable, that are all 6'8", that all have pretty good wingspans, that can all kind of make shots. And all of a sudden you have a lot of space to let your superstar operate. I didn't see anybody react too crazily to that. So I'm going to go to you, Jeff. Tell me why I'm dumb. That's what you're the best at.
I can do that well. But here, listen, in terms of fit, you're right. I think Keegan Murray is the safest pick, and he fits what they need the most. Again, to me, the hard thing for Troy Weaver here is going to be passing on a kid like Shaedon Sharpe, who you don't know enough about, right? There's so many mysteries with him. You haven't seen him. He looks great in a workout, especially if he's making shots in that workout, which I've heard he's done enough of them. So that's what I'd be worried about. But yes, I think Keegan Murray is a solid pick, but again, probably swinging for a double instead of maybe swinging for what could potentially be a home run.
Yeah, Jamie, I want to ask you about that real quick. What do you think his ceiling is? We got about 30 seconds here before we got to get to the 6th pick.
Yeah, the player that I've used, I think, a lot with Keegan is like John Collins in terms of like, not like a direct comparison, but in terms of like the productivity that he brings. And like, you can debate, how valuable, Collins is, and obviously he's a guy who's come up as a trade possibility, but like, I don't see how, any issue with Keegan as far as just getting to that level, just because he plays so hard. He fits with so many different types of players. He's active. I actually think he's an underrated athlete. Like, having seen him a few times this year, he moves better than you think. He gets off the floor pretty quick. So I think there's enough there with the shooting and the rebounding that he's a pretty productive player, if not an all-star. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he could end up being a Cam Johnson kind of a guy at the next level. Just hangs around the league.